so happy, my hair so nappy, had an afro.
What's going on, Gooners? Transfer news! Let's talk about some transfers now, but before we do, let's congratulate Wrexham signing Arthur Okonkwo on a 3-year deal following his release from Arsenal. As you guys know, the 22-year-old spent last season on loan with the club, helping them gain promotion to League One. And there was personal recognition for him as well. He was named in the League Two Team of the Season, and he becomes Phil Parkinson's first new official signing of the summer. Okonkwo said on signing, he told the official club website, "I'm feeling very good. I'm so happy to have finally signed, and I can't wait to get back to it. It was amazing last season. We had so many good memories together with the fans. Knowing they wanted me back was a big reason I'm back. It's good to finally be here." So, look, you got to put respect out. His younger brother now, obviously, he was with Arsenal's under-21 team. Went to see him play a few times. But it just really goes to show how much these players can grow the more that they play in tougher competition. And that's what a lot of these young players are trying to head to. We just heard Cozy Dubry is not going to be back, and he's going to test the market. So look, whatever will be with these guys, we just have to wish them all the best. Also, commiserations to Jakub Kiwior and Poland. They became the first team to be eliminated from the Euro 2024s. It's really been a tough competition. A lot of teams playing well who would expect to play well, Germany and Spain. And some teams like France and England just really haven't turned up and are struggling to even reach the levels that of expectations of them being the favourites in the competition. But listen, he'll be back. Obviously, he's going to get 2 weeks off. So he'll be back mid-July, just in time for a lot of the training that the team is going to be looking for, and then some pre-season matches as well. So who are Arsenal really in for at the moment? Let's talk about Nico Williams Jr. Now, Barcelona, Arsenal, Chelsea and Liverpool have all looked into the player. They have called and inquired about him. He's got a 45 million release clause, and he's viewed as a valuable potential suitor for most teams. I mean, you look at the talent like that, 45 million, this is what clubs are looking for. Spend in the 45-50 million range if you're going to develop a team. The problem with spending 100 million on players, guys, is you're pretty much one and done with your budget, because you're just having one player suck up all the air in the room with your cash flow. So teams are trying to be smart. There's not been a lot of deals done so far this summer, and teams have been very skeptical of the values of some of the players. We've seen Arsenal, of course, in for Benjamin Sesko. That would have been a great deal had they pulled it off, but the player said no, and you've got to respect that. He understands, and his club understands, plus his agent, that he still has a little ways to go. If he comes to Arsenal, Havertz is still the starter. And when you're a player like him, having had the season that you had with LB Leipzig, you really think to yourself, I'm going to play every game with them. I'm going to continue to develop with them. And then my value down the road is going to be a lot better. My understanding of the game is going to be better. I'm going to be more of a polished player. And then I can step into, say, an Arsenal team and offer them a lot more than what I'm offering now. So we know there's been some agreements and talked about in terms of the down the road and what they expect and commitments and promises. But I've heard these things before. They really don't account to anything. This could be a £100 million player. And in those respects, you have to see the likes of Viktor Osimhen. The problem with projections on strikers right now at 100 million is no one wants to touch him. You know, Viktor Osimhen, Napoli failed as a team last season. They didn't have a great season. He was regarded as one of the best strikers in Europe. He's available to buy. Napoli have said, we'll take 100 million for him. And no one is calling. No one's knocking down their door, quite frankly, because those deals don't happen every day. They are lightning in a bottle, one in a lifetime deals. It's just not the way the game's going because of the money in the game right now. Teams have got to be careful. You can see what's happened with FFP and teams getting reprimanded for overspending and all of this stuff. £100 million on a player is not something that teams are readily available to do. So for me, guys, I'm not really sure that this one's going to happen, specifically because of his high wages. $300,000 a week will make the deal difficult for any team, and he will not lower his demands either. That's the problem. Now, he's established himself as one of the best young prospects in Europe in the past season. Nico Williams is 21 years old. He contributed to 27 goals in 37 games across all competitions for the Athletic Club. Now, finding the back of the net 8 times, but it's the 19 assists. That's what people would be talking about. And you can see in the Euros how fluid he is as a player on the number 8. Unlike Martinelli, who keeps his head down looking at the ground, Nico Williams has his head up high, he sees the whole field and knows how to deliver a pass to create goals. And people love that with him. Look, he's going to be a hell of a player, but I'm just not sure about that salary, and neither are Arsenal. Now, according to Graham Bailey as well, Arsenal have held talks with his representatives, but the winger has his heart set on joining Barcelona in the summer transfer window. So we're going to have to play second fiddle on this deal. So Arsenal, Liverpool are going to have to look elsewhere to bolster their offensive summer transfer. And let's talk about Eze for a second. Now, Eze, yes, he's very affordable because of his release clause of about 60 million, but a large amount of the release clause has to be paid up front. And again, it's something teams are not really able to do. Now, also, I'm not sure about Eze. I like him as a player. I want him to come back. But would he want to come back to Arsenal after being released when he was younger? He was released numerous times by academies at youth level, but finally got his break when Crystal Palace decided to pick him up from Queen's Park Rangers in the English second tier. Now, Eze's form this season made it possible to be picked up by Gareth Southgate and his 11 Premier League goals. That helped Crystal Palace to a respectable 10th place in the league. Now, guys, listen to this. He ranks first in shots on target, expected assists, successful dribbles, possession won in the final third, and second ranked in expected goals and big chances created. So I wouldn't put it past Arteta to convince him to come back. After all, everyone Arteta's had a meeting with normally ends up signing for Arsenal. It would have to mean something more to Eze than just football if he was to come back to Arsenal. Now, for me, guys, you look at and say, well, we've got Smith Rowe and we've got Vieira. Now, Eze is part of a new breed of versatile players who can play in the centre midfield, attacking midfield, also at the number 7 and 11 roles, wide left and right. Now, we have one in Smith Rowe, as I said, but it's no good to Arsenal if he can't stay fit. And I think, hands on heart, if everybody was to say, who would you prefer, Smith Rowe or Eze, a lot of people would just go for Eze because he's just absolutely magical. Smith Rowe can create, but he really hasn't made his name as a number 10. And that, for me, was supposed to be the thing, right? Odegaard's backup was supposed to be Smith Rowe. But every time I see Smith Rowe come on for Odegaard, it doesn't really influence the game in that way. He's more, for me, Smith Rowe's more of an 8. More of a guy who's going to be a box-to-box midfielder, not a creator. So I'm not sure if that deal's going to happen, but I would like it to. So let's hear about a deal that can happen. Viktor Gyokeres is going for 100 million. That's his release clause. And Arsenal, so far, the rumour is that they've agreed terms. And look, he's 25 years old. He's 6'2". He was phenomenal last season with Sporting Lisbon. And he could be the firepower Arsenal need to challenge and win the title. 40 goals and 12 assists last season. An astonishing season where he notched up 43 goals in 50 games in all competition. His pace is astonishing. He's electric in front of goal. He's clinical. Then he can hold up the ball as well. So everything sort of ticks all the boxes. But Arsenal will not pay their release clause of 100 million. Now, they're ironing out an agreement at around 90 million with Sporting Lisbon as we speak. And word is that the incentives could reach up to 120 million. Now, Arteta will likely keep faith in Kai Havertz to lead the line. I get that, and I don't have an issue with it as well. But the Gunners are just lacking sufficient quality cover in that position. I wouldn't expect any goal tallies from Gabriel Jesus, and quite frankly, I would prefer him to play out wide, battling that number left role side, and then also backing up Saka as well, which is what he did a couple of times last season. But guys, let's remember, the Gunners scored more goals and racked up more wins last season than they ever had in the Premier League history. But there's still a feeling among fans that a new centre-forward would take them up to the next level. Now, as I said, Sporting Lisbon, they want 100 million for the Swede, but his release clause or comparable deal structure is something Sporting want to be agreed if they are going to let him go. And as I said, my sources have confirmed the negotiations between the two clubs are at an advanced stage. So as it looks now, he's on his way to Arsenal. I would say it's 80% done at this point. But we'll have to wait and see what the next 72 hours hold. Now, he joined Brighton at 2018 and began training with the club's under-23 side. He made his senior debut for Brighton in August in a defeat to Southampton in the League Cup. And then he made his FA Cup debut again as a sub against West Bromwich Albion. But he's never started a league game for Brighton. And then he ended up joining Swansea City and then Coventry City years after, and not really been able to establish himself in this country. I'd really like to see Arsenal get this deal done. He's a quality player. He'll add so much to our game, and he's just getting started. He's in his prime at 25, so I'd really, really like this deal to get done. Could you imagine going in with him and Havertz leading the line, and just the stability and the choice that we would have at the striker position? So guys, that's it from me. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below, guys, and I'll catch up with you in the next one. Peace out.
We made it this far, so I can't complain. Let's take, let's take a trip down memory lane.